Welcome everyone. This is a very exciting video. Today I'm going to be breaking down sleep to a T and how you can get the best sleep of your life after watching and implementing what I'm about to show you. Chances are you clicked on this video because you're unhappy with the quality of your sleep. Maybe you have low energy or brain fog throughout the day, or maybe you get incredible sleep and you just want to boost it even more. Whatever the case is, let's get into it. So why 25%? That seems like a very specific number. Well, I have a Garmin that I use to track my sleep. And on the left here, you can see very inconsistent scores. This was before I implemented everything I'm about to show you, and I had an average score of 70. On the right was after I implemented everything I'm about to show you, and my sleep was a lot more consistent. An average score of 87, 25% higher than that 70 on the left. And my average resting heart rate was significantly lower, meaning that my body was a lot more calm, allowing me to get into deeper states of sleep, which is all things that we want. So what's my experience? Why should you listen to me in the first place? Well, I've been fascinated by sleep for many years. So I have tried all the fads, all the routines, all the supplements, all that stuff. And this is what actually works, what's actually effective. And when I first got this Garmin, I was so excited just for the sleep feature. I've gotten 100 once in the last year I've had this. Believe it or not, it's extremely hard to get a 100, a perfect sleep score with the Garmin. But here's a bunch of 99s. So how does sleep quality affect you? Why should you even care about the quality of sleep that you get? Well, if you work out or if you're an athlete, your muscles repair during sleep, during recovery. We break them down in the gym and they repair outside of the gym. Specifically, the more deep and REM sleep that you get, the more your muscles will repair during that time, leading to more muscle growth and stronger muscles, all things that we do want. So if you've ever been to the gym after, or worked out after getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep, you know how tight you are, how sore you are, how, you can't lift as much as you usually do. This is because you didn't get enough REM sleep the night before. So more prone to injury, all things that we do not want. Lack of sleep, poor sleep ages us faster, more wrinkles, lowers your life expectancy if you get a lot of poor quality sleep, all things that we do not want, as well as your mood. We all know you're more stressed out, more irritable when you're sleep deprived, lower productivity as well. You're at work, your mind's somewhere else. You can't focus on what you're trying to do. You just want to go home and sleep, brain fog, weaker decision making, as well as for the guys, lower testosterone levels. So 1 week of poor sleep can lead to a 10 to 15 drop in your testosterone. For reference, that is equivalent to how much your testosterone will drop in 10 to 15 years from now. Now, this is just a short-term drop. However, testosterone plays a huge role in strength, motivation, productivity, wanting to get things done. All bad. We want to have the highest testosterone levels and we want to optimize that through things like sleep, as well as weight gain. Lack of sleep increases the hunger hormone called ghrelin, which can lead you to crave junk food, sugar cravings, fast food, leading you to consume more calories, which in the end might lead to weight gain, as well as your immune system. Getting less than 7 hours of sleep at night makes you 3 times more likely to get sick. We all know how terrible being sick is. Some common myths I want to break down before we get into this. How long you sleep is all that matters. A lot of people think just the amount of time that you're in bed is all that matters. Now, while there is some truth to that, the amount of REM sleep specifically is what we want to get more of. As you can see here, I was asleep for 9 hours and 20 minutes, but the score was only a 55. Now, why is that? That is because I only got 1 hour and 1 minute of REM sleep, and I was awake for 1 hour and 44 minutes. So I was in bed for 11 hours during this time. Awake, not actually awake, still unconscious, but your heart rate's so high that the watch thinks that you are awake. So I could say I got 11 hours of sleep here. However, on the right, I was only in bed for 8 hours and 31 minutes, but because I got double the amount of REM sleep, it was seemingly double as effective. So the amount of REM sleep and deep sleep is truly what matters and what we want to look at. That is why having a watch or something that can track your sleep is very essential. And I was also only awake for 2 minutes during this entire time, meaning that my body was consistently asleep in that deep state of sleep. Another one is weed helps me sleep. Now, while there is some truth to this does, it does help you fall asleep quicker. Weed and THC specifically blocks REM sleep from happening. As you can see here, someone used weed a long time ago and got zero REM sleep that night and was awake for a while as well. 15 restless movements, high heart rate. So although it does put you to sleep quicker, it's going to block REM sleep, which means that the next day you will have not gotten that REM sleep, meaning that you will have not recovered properly and, brain fog, all that stuff that we don't want. REM sleep is the number that we really want to be looking at here, or the metric. So it all starts in the morning, believe it or not. Getting 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight in the morning sets your body's internal clock. And this lets your body know, okay, it's time to start the day. I need to, release energy. It's time to start solving problems, time to start working out. It's time to start doing these things. And here on the next slide, I'll show it. So this is your body's internal clock. I'm not going to break this down too much, but essentially when you get that sunlight in the morning, it lets your body know, okay, it's time to start the day, time to stay alert. And then 12 hours later at nighttime, your body knows, okay, it's time to start secreting melatonin, time to start winding down for the night. So that's very important, is getting 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight in the morning so that you set that circadian rhythm. Now, another thing that's very important is to avoid caffeine within 8 hours of bedtime. This is because caffeine is a stimulant. It raises your heart rate, which doesn't allow you to get into a deeper state of sleep. A lot of people will say, I take pre-workout at 7 p.m. and I can fall asleep. It's the same argument with the weed. You can fall asleep, but your body will not get into that deeper state or REM sleep because your heart and you're being stimulated, which is what we want. We want REM sleep. Exercise, very important. We know after, when you're exhausted, you've done a lot throughout the day, you fall asleep like that and you get the best sleep of your life. So getting sunlight throughout the day as well, exercising outside tires you out. After a long day at the beach, you're extremely tired. This is because of that sunlight, depleting you, and which leads to more melatonin at night. So drained body promotes deep sleep. It's just me walking in the morning. I get the circadian rhythm. Again, these are some essentials for getting deep sleep. Now, the biggest one is to avoid a big meal 2 to 3 hours before bed. This is because when you eat, your body is using a lot of energy to digest the food. And what we want to be doing when we go to sleep is using that energy that would be going towards digesting the food and using it towards repairing our muscles, repairing our cells, and getting us into a deeper state of sleep. I notice a dramatic difference when I eat right before bed versus, what I usually do is eat 2 to 3 hours before bed. However, that might not be possible for some of you. So do what you can. If you can't do this, it's not the end of the world. However, ideally, it's what you do. Dimming the house and avoiding blue light after sunset. So one of my favorite things to do here, let me grab my phone. One of my favorite things to do is I have a shortcut set up on my phone so that when I click this button right here, where is it? Okay. So when I click, so this is my phone normally, right? And when I click the power button 3 times, you can set this up in settings. 1, 2, 3. It turns that red light mode on. So at night, this is very effective because red light secretes melatonin. And as you can see here on the right, we want to avoid blue light as possible as it's the worst for sleep. You can do this on all of your devices. If you don't have blue light blockers or red light glasses with a red tint, you can just do this. I do this on all my devices and it works great. as well as ideally, keeping the lights dim in your house if you can as much as possible. We just don't want to be stimulating or simulating, sunlight. So we don't want to be getting a ton of light in our eyes, which tells our body, we're awake. It's during the daytime. We want to be stimulating as much melatonin as possible. Another thing is sleeping in a cold room, ideally 65 to 68 degrees. We all know the feeling when you wake up in the middle of the night just drenched in sweat and your core temperature is through the roof. This is because your body does not like it to be hot when you are trying to sleep. So your body lowers its core temperature as you prepare for sleep, and sleeping in a cold room will just help speed up the process of that and help you sleep better for longer. Another thing I found helps a lot, especially in lowering your core temperature, is just sleeping naked. It's also a lot more comfortable. Some cues to help you fall asleep faster. So having a routine is very important because your body knows that when you do X activity, it's time to get ready for bed. So for me, I have my routine right here. Plan the next day, brush my teeth, wash my face, take magnesium. I'll get into that in a moment. And I like to plan the next day because if you ever had racing thoughts at night, keeping you up at night, you want to get that down on paper. So you want to just journal or read, meditate, stretch. Journaling, you want to, write down anything that you're thinking, and planning out the next day is my form of journaling because I know exactly what I need to do the next day. I don't have to think about it, don't have to worry about it. And the 5-4-5 method is what I use. I'm not going to go over that too much, but it's five goals, long-term goals. So get abs, for example, and then a 4-step morning routine that gets me into a good state of mind to help me get into these 5 actionable tasks every day. So cold shower, hydrate, journal, 10-minute walk, and then my 5 tasks that I need to accomplish for the day. So go to the gym, hit protein goal, practice speaking for 30 minutes, all things that are going to help me get to these end goals. Warm shower / sauna. So this is going to raise your core body temperature and relax your muscles, preparing you to get into a deeper state of sleep. And afterwards, your body goes into a cooling process that cools down your body's core temperature, which mimics the feeling of falling asleep. So this will help you fall asleep a lot faster, lower your core body temperature a lot faster. And one of the most important things as well is a consistent bedtime / wake up time. This way, your body's on that schedule, like we just discussed, the circadian rhythm. So your body knows every 24 hours at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., okay, it's time to start getting ready for bed. And then at 7 a.m., when you wake up, your body knows. If you've ever had something planned the next day and you wake up right before that alarm goes off, it's because your subconscious knows what time of the day it is. And that's why you have that internal clock. It's very weird. You wake up at 6:59 right before your alarm goes off and you're like, that's weird, because of your body's internal clock. So some tools that I love to use, very essential for sleeping: magnesium glycinate. 80 to 90% of the population is deficient in magnesium. And what this does, it is a supplement that helps your muscles relax and helps you get into a deeper state of sleep. Now, it also helps with a lot of other things like mood, energy levels throughout the day. It's a great supplement. Highly recommend it. As well as mouth tape. This might be a fad that you've seen on TikTok or social media or Instagram, but it actually works. So there's these mouth tapes that you can buy specifically for this, but they are very expensive. So what I do is I use this 3M NextCare tape, which is like $3 to $4, and it lasts me a couple of months. So I just put that over my mouth, closes my mouth shut, making me breathe out of my nose. Some bonuses: you can use a nose strip for this as well if you have trouble breathing out of your nose. I don't have any problems with breathing out of my nose, so I do not use one. As well as a weighted eye mask. I've recently started to do this, and I've noticed a massive difference in both falling asleep quicker and getting deeper sleep throughout the night. So, it blocks out all the light and the weight. Same thing with the weighted blanket. The weight just helps you stay in that, deeper sleep, sedates you a little bit more. As well as a sleep tracker. Now, this isn't really an essential, but if you can afford it, or if you have the budget set aside for it, I would highly recommend that you invest in one of these. The best one just for sleep is going to be the Oura Ring, from what I've heard. I use the Garmin because you get the best of both worlds. You get the fitness, the running, the tracking, all that stuff with the exercise, as well as the sleep, and it has a screen. The Whoop and the Oura Ring do not have a screen. But the best for sleeping are the Oura Ring and the Whoop. The Garmin just has best of both worlds, like I just said. Blue light blocking glasses. So those are these right here. Like I just showed you, you can do this with your phone. However, if you want to get blue light blocking glasses as well, you can. I don't have them just because I do that with my phone. Some supplements: L-theanine, glycine, and ashwagandha. L-theanine helps you get into a deeper state of sleep throughout the night. And online, you hear many people talking about L-theanine. I've tried it. I haven't noticed any difference, if anything, but it works for some people. So I listed that there, as well as ashwagandha lowers your cortisol. I take that every single day. Weighted blanket. I just use two like thick blankets that mimic the feeling of a weighted blanket, but a weighted blanket specifically will help a ton in falling asleep and keeping you in a deeper state of sleep. If you have a good amount of money set aside and you really want to take your sleep to the next level, you can get a smart mattress, specifically 8 Sleep. I've heard amazing things about these. I've never tried them, but from what I do know, they adjust the temperature based on what state of sleep your body's in, allowing you to get the deepest sleep ever. Their technology is very cool. I want to invest in one of those at some point, as well as white noise / deep frequency music, or guided meditation. You can just look these up on Spotify. They just help you fall asleep and get into that deeper state of sleep. The keys: 5 to 10 minutes of morning sunlight, setting your body's internal clock, that circadian rhythm that we talked about. Avoiding caffeine within 8 hours of bedtime, allowing you to get into REM sleep a lot sooner and getting a lot more REM sleep. Avoiding blue light / bright lights after sunset, because both of these things block melatonin, the hormone in your body that tells your body it's time to go to sleep. Avoid eating 2 to 3 hours before bed if you can, because we want to use that energy that would be used for digestion towards getting deep and REM sleep and repairing our muscles and cells. Nightly routine that includes relaxing activities, journaling, warm shower, all that good stuff, and a consistent bedtime / wake up schedule, so your body's internal clock knows when it's time to go to bed and when it's time to wake up. Follow this as best you can, and you'll feel absolutely incredible. I cannot stress the difference that I feel, but when I get a 73 or even an 80 versus when I get a 94, 96, 98, 100, all those really good scores, it makes a huge difference. Now, the numbers, take them with a grain of salt. However, they are extremely accurate. But if you follow this, I guarantee you, you will get the best sleep of your life. And not only get the best sleep of your life, but feel your best mentally and physically. Perform your best in the gym, make more progress in the gym, perform better at work, be able to solve problems faster, think quicker, have less brain fog, all of these things. The sleep is the foundation of our life when you really think about it. So if you enjoyed this video, you found this very valuable, I hope you take something from it and implement it into your routine, into your life, making your sleep better, making your life better overall. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and check me out on Instagram. I have a ton more free value just like this, things that you can implement into your daily routine to make your life better. And there will be a lot more videos like this on YouTube coming soon. Thank you all.